Hello, hello. I am live. Am I live? Hello. Yeah, so there we go. Hey everyone, I'm here. Hey Not Slip. Hey Commander Torres. How's it going, everyone? Gonna let a few more folks slide in as we get going. Hey Devlin. And everyone else. Yeah, we're just gonna start trickling in. Hey Mike. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good to see everyone. Good to see you guys. Activity, analytics. Yeah, there we go. Stream health. Excellent. Good deal. There, everybody. Kitchen Witch and Susie. Hey, hi, everyone. All right. Good to know that I am visible. Let's do this. Okay, hey folks, how's it going? How's it going? Okay, hi. Great to see you guys. First thing, just want to say, you remember how last Thursday I started the stream, I was a little bit out of sorts, I was a bit frazzled. It had been a rough, weird afternoon. You know, that was just what it was. Today has been a very good day. I'm in great spirits. Having a good time. All day today has been a good day. Weather's been good and all that. So I'm very, very happy to be here with you tonight and feeling very upbeat and ready to read. And so it's all a good thing. Yeah, hi Devlin. So the book I'm reading tonight, I'm going to be doing a thing like I've done before, where I'm going to be splitting books. Now I'm going to be reading this during the first session. This is one that I started last week. It's just a random vintage SF title that I plucked off my old stack of mass market paperbacks because I had really been for a long time just having a hankering for this kind of thing. Old school stuff, right? And so I'm going to try to get close to the end of it in first session. It's a pretty short book, so I hope to finish it up. And then I will be reading something else entirely, starting a new book in the second session. Let's see what that is at the time, but it is wonderful, wonderful to see all of you guys. Oh, wow, okay. Susie has an interesting choice. Watership Down and the Devils. Well, I mean, Watership Down, of course, is a wonderful classic. I guess it all depends on what you're in the mood for. Are you in the mood for, carnage with humor? Because that'll take you to the Devils. Or are you in the mood for something a bit... Watership Down has its very scary and very dark moments, but I think it is overall just a wonderful, uplifting classic. So it's all going to depend on what you're in the mood for. So, oh wow, yeah, the burnout from work is very much a thing. So I hope that you're able to feel a lot more relaxed tonight and have a good night for it. So, but anyway, this is what my reading is going to look like tonight. And like I said, the week has been good. And looking forward to Saturday, because some of you will remember that I have spoken before, and I think I mentioned this last week, about the pet adoption event that is happening here in my little town on Saturday. We're getting things ready to take several of the puppies down, and hopefully find them some interested, maybe forever families. It's going to be it's one of those things where it's fostering. This will do it to you. You know that it's the right thing for them, but seeing them go is heartbreaking, especially when you've had the dogs for a while, and you've developed a kind of connection to them, and they've been part of your lives, and so yeah, it's going to be so sad to see some of these babies go, but it's neat. But if we can find homes for them, it is what's needed. Just can't have an entire massive pack of animals in this house much longer. It's just not manageable, but. We found them, either we found them ourselves or we helped the local rescue help them and turn them around, and now it will be time for them to move on to the homes that will hopefully love them all their lives. And so, yes, they'll be missed. But anyway, let me get back to some of this list here and see what you guys are talking about. So that's the thing I'm looking forward to on Saturday. But let's see. Devlin reading Strange Houses by Uketsu tonight. Okay. Hey, so, here we go. Karen has made it all the way to the last book in the Shadows of the App series. Well done, you. There you go. Not Slip finishing Between Two Fires. Very cool. Yeah, let's see. It is. Yeah, it's like you say, Devlin. Yeah, it's gonna feel like it must feel like how parents feel when, I don't. I mean, I have been on one end of this equation, not the other. But when a kid goes off to college for the first time, you get that kind of empty nest thing. But yeah. So hopefully so, because they're good dogs. They're good dogs. But we'll just see how people respond. Because one thing is, most of them, they're dogs now. They're not teeny adorable little pups anymore. They're dogs, and they have their personalities. But hopefully, just meet someone who will just see how people who see just how affectionate and what happy dogs they are. So, anyway, so there's not. So let's see. Let's go. Justin's reading some more Junji Ito, Soichi. Very cool. Very cool. Yes, Mike, thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. Mike has started Coffin Moon by Keith Rawson. Cool. Be very excited to hear what you have to think about that, Mike, because I got that. So it'll be, I'll get around to reading it, I guess, whenever. the endless TBR stack that will barely have chips taken out of it before it's time for me to leave this earth, I guess. But anyway. Kitchen Witch just started Salt Crop. Yumi Kitase. There's another one I'm very, very intrigued by. And so, see, Justin, let's see, you've just started the audiobook today. Kitchen Witch. Sweet. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling back and catching up on some of chat. So, anyway, as always, it is wonderful and very awesome to have you guys join me on these Thursday nights. To keep me company, and we all keep each other company as we read and hopefully enjoy some quiet. It is a remarkably quiet night here, by the way. Not too much in the way of like nighttime insects. There's sounds like a little frog or toad off in the distance chirping. And the weather's very clear. But there have been trains earlier today. I've heard them. So, yeah, we will see. But I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. 45 minutes and counting on first session. And, yeah, as I said, wonderful to be with you guys on these Thursdays. These are nights that I always look forward to as a way of just kind of decompressing for a bit, taking a little time away. So, see, what am I doing? Oh, yeah. No, this one first. Open my beverage and then this one first. Indulge in one of my unhealthy sodas here. I swear if I'm exhumed 50 years after I die, I will probably be perfectly preserved from some of this stuff I can see. I just don't do too much of that. Here we go. Have my starting the night well. Well, it's one of the ones that I featured yesterday on my Instagram. It's called Where They Burned the Butterfly. It's a new literary fantasy, and if you didn't see my Instagram post, then I'll talk a little bit more about what it's about when we come back. Oh, and forgot to mention, there is one package today. So we're going to have a one-book mailbag at the beginning of second session. So don't want to forget that little detail. So, but for now, we go back to the old school. Hey, Kelswitch. Hey, Angela. I would say that's a very goofy thing to say, Angela. I mean, pretty much any one of us could rattle off any one of 24 different stories. Which, that little assertion is very capably disproven. Anyway, good to have you both here. Once again. Yep. Well, I'm with Devlin on this one. Might help that individual to be reminded that aliens are make-believe. And so if you're telling a story, you can pretty much make them whatever you want. Star Wars or Star Trek or, like, just about anything. I mean, if your sole exposure to science fiction consists of the actual Alien franchise, and maybe the Predator franchise, and maybe John Carpenter's The Thing, okay. Like, if that's literally all you've ever seen or experienced in science fiction. But even then, I can't imagine thinking, oh, well, there can't possibly be a story in which there's a good alien. I mean, yeah, Kelswitch, I mean, what the heck? It's, or Superman, there you go. I mean, yeah, weird, I agree, Kelswitch, weird hill to die on, but I don't know, maybe at least they'll die on it. It's like, just, yeah, it's bizarre, Devlin. Such a bizarre thing to insist upon. Crick in my neck. Oh well. Hmm. Oh yeah, this is all just getting more bizarre the more you tell us about it, Angela. Yep. Kitchen Witch, you nailed it. Yeah, just very, very strange thing to be so adamant about. Well, you know, Angela, sometimes when a person, they're just out of the blue, they will tell on themselves, and, you know, yeah, you've got to reevaluate, like, in real time. So, at least you know his advice. There's a lot of bollocks. Yeah, that whole idea of they must be evil because they came to Earth smacks very much of someone who looks at actual immigrants, right? And thinks to themselves, okay, well, they came to my country, so they must be trying to, take advantage of our resources and sap our economy and take jobs from people and be, that whole just immediate xenophobic thing of, you came here, you must have evil intentions. You must be sneaky about it for some reason. Very basic, weird anti immigrant sentiment that he is bafflingly projecting onto your science fiction story about space aliens. And it's like, why do people's brains go in the direction that they go in sometimes? I cannot quite grasp it. Oh, okay, well, there's that, probably. Yeah, if you're, again, yeah, three body problem, the scary aliens coming to destroy us. But still, that shows just a weirdly limited, not just imagination, but again, also just experience of science fiction. I feel like you're only consuming stories about aliens that are actual alien invasion stories, right? Um, yeah. Yeah. Ah, hello, George. How are you tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you, old friend. How you been? How is your week going for you? Yes, we've been short on puns lately, so it's good to have you back. Like I said, I hope you're doing well. And yes, I am well aware about Borderlands 4. Still have not picked it up yet, but it is on the agenda. Want to do something about, maybe getting some of the dogs, some of the pups adopted out first. Clear some of the shall we say the very hyperactivity out of the household by adopting some of the pups. But then, it looks like it would be a fun way to spend time getting closer to the holidays. But anyway, I am sorry to hear about the week of pain, though, old buddy. I know that you deal with that. I know that that's an issue. Yeah, I've heard some definitely mixed reviews of it, but hopefully they'll get some patches done. I think a lot of people are expecting it to be patched, so hopefully that can work out. You know, that happens to a lot of games. They start out and they're like, "Uh-oh, gotta fix some stuff." Excuse me. Yeah, I've never been a very dedicated player of that franchise, but I might give 6 a look. You know, since it's pretty much going to be dominating everything, but we will see. Gaming life. That gaming life, which We're getting after. We're getting excitable inside. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we just might be. We just might be. That's very true. Hey, everyone, looks like we have a guest. Oh. We'll give just a minute. We'll set everything up and we'll get to say hi. Look at that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hang on, everyone. All right. Okay, come here. Come here, don't knock things over. Oops. Come here. We do have a guest outside, everyone. Okay, so anyway, let me kind of tilt things. He's really excitable. Oh, because he's outside and he's been barking inside quite a bit, so I know he wants to be out here. But he's got to be calm because we don't want to knock everything over. So this is so that's my boy Taj. You remember I was in College Station, the other town, with him when I did the stream from the motel room, or hotel room actually. I was there checking him out for his tumor. So we're gonna start hopefully very, very soon, within a few weeks. We're gonna go ahead and start the radiation treatment for him, and so I guess I will let you know how that goes. But lately he's really been wanting to be around. I mean, I had everyone inside, of course, and the only reason I hadn't brought this boy outside to sit with us during the stream is he can be very excitable, so I wanted to make sure he's safe, you know, that he doesn't knock over the candles or the lights or anything like that. I don't want him to hurt himself by accident. But this seems to work out. Holly came out with a big lead that she put together, tied him to one of the pillars out here, so that should work out. But now that he's out here, oh, look at, oh, yeah, I know, boy, I know. Okay, but you gotta be careful, okay? Gotta be careful. I know. Come here. I know, sweet boy. I know. So, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You're a good fella. I know, you're a good boy. Come here. I know, come here. Come here. Ah, yeah. You are good. You are good. I know, but just outside. Just want to give him a few minutes and let him relax. Yeah. If my beard were a little darker, I guess I could pass for Clark in the thing, couldn't I? I would definitely be that character. He was the character that I really related to, the dog lover. Definitely. So, yeah. He is a happy boy, and he's happy to be outside. But I just need to kind of hold on to him for a bit. Yeah, like I said, don't want him to inadvertently hurt himself while he's, you know, because he could knock this over by accident. He could knock the other light over, so just want him to be safe. Yeah. Oh, Mike, that's great. That's great. Yeah, yeah, I saw the thing on the big screen some years ago at, I think in Austin, at some special screening at one of the Alamo locations. So, yeah, it is. It is one of the great movies, the great horror movies ever. Although the science fiction fan in me, or well, maybe not necessarily the science fiction fan, but sometimes it's like the continuity guy in me, can't help but kind of chuckle a little bit at the fundamental error that movie makes, which is, you know, it was shot, like, I think, up in northern Alaska somewhere, but not quite so far up that they were north of the Arctic Circle. And so one error that that movie makes is that they've got sun during the day and darkness at night, like we experience, right? When I think it would properly, it would be either you get 4 months of darkness, 4 months of all day sunlight, and then this kind of 2 months of twilight and on either side of the, like 2 months of this weird kind of, twilight condition, and then 4 months of darkness, 2 months of that weird twilight, and then 4 months of day, right? And so that's kind of an inaccuracy. They're like, but so what, right? That does not impede the enjoyment of the story whatsoever. I'm just noticing, like in the very beginning of the movie, when Kurt Russell says, it's the first goddamn week of winter, I'm like, well, why is the sun out, right? If it's the first week of winter, it would be pitch dark outside. So, but it was. The Thing was very badly received when it first came out in theaters, and so was Blade Runner, which I saw in theaters when it first came out. So a lot of these movies that were ahead of their time at the time ended up being appreciated a long time later, much, much later. Just polar light in the North Pole, Yeah, well, I think I didn't read the original short story, George, until after I'd seen the movie like 5 or 6 times. And so I was actually kind of impressed to see how much they actually did retain, and in terms of being faithful to the story. It's not just the whole concept of, the alien takes you over at the cellular level, and so there's all that mistrust and what have you. But there were, I think there were four character names, including Kurt Russell's character, MacReady, and Dr. Copper, 4 names that were taken directly from the original story, and the blood test scene was taken from the original story. So I was actually kind of impressed with that degree of fidelity to the source material, because the 1950s movie, of course, had 0 fidelity to the source material, right? Like none. So, from a nerdy standpoint, that pleased me to see that. Yeah, that's the thing, though, also about 1982 was, I think there was just this general kind of public, the public didn't want dark back then. They didn't want scary and grimdark, right? And especially 1982, which was also the year of E.T., right? And so everybody had already gotten used to a big, fluffy, cuddly alien, a big alien huggy bunny. And so to get this big, scary, gory, bloody, people-consuming alien was just not something that they wanted, I think. That kind of darkness and blood and guts. So I think that's probably why, one of the reasons I think the movie didn't do well with the public at the time. Yeah. And then I think Blade Runner flopped at the time also because, again, it went against the general public expectation of light, upbeat entertainment and positivity, right? Like, audiences had seen Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford had become a big superstar because he was Han Solo and because he was Indiana Jones. So these are big, swashbuckling, high adventures, fun for the whole family, right? And so Blade Runner is announced. The trailers have everybody all worked up. It's Harrison Ford starring in a brand new big budget science fiction movie, and people go seeing it expecting, a rousing adventure like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And what they got was this bleak European art film about the moral ramifications of technology, right? Very slow, very moody, very, very, very cynical, misanthropic almost. And again, not what audiences in 1982 were all about. But it's just home video kept it alive, and I think the audience that really kept Blade Runner alive were literary science fiction fans, like the actual science fiction reading fandom, who didn't mind that the story had been so radically changed from the Philip K. Dick book, but were able to accept what Blade Runner was doing on its own as a film, and just the combination of the production design and how it looked, and you know, especially you know, the oh God, I'm not so old that I've forgotten his name, but Roy Batty's performance, his character, and the pathos, you know, that he brought to that character, was the sort of thing that I think people who read science fiction novels could identify with more, because we were used to those kinds of treatment of character. Everybody was, you know, if you read science fiction, you're used to characters not having to be these broad brush archetypes all the time, you know. People only watch science fiction and they're like, yeah, he's the big lightsaber wielding hero, and that's all you need to know about him. And the broad stroke characterization, stock characters, you know, you're not quite prepared to think intellectualize your science fiction experience so much, but there's that. Well, you're right, Killswitch. Yeah, it was fans kept it alive on television and on VHS, but it was the literary science fiction fandom that did accept Blade Runner, I think, right from the start, because the very first Worldcon I went to as a teenager was 1983, Baltimore, and I'll never forget it because it's Baltimore, so the Hugo ceremony was in this big auditorium in the convention center, and it was preceded by a crab dinner, because that's their whole thing up there, and they gave us all these commemorative crab mallets. So there was that. And but I do remember that you know, best dramatic presentation for that year, you know, among the nominees were Blade Runner, and then I think a few other movies. I think Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, E.T., of course, and a couple others I can't recall. And I think just because it was so massively popular, the expectation was that E.T. was going to win best, you know, the Hugo for best dramatic presentation, and it didn't. Blade Runner won. So that showed, I think, you know, immediate acceptance among the literary community in science fiction for Blade Runner that the general movie-going audience just didn't have at the time. And so I think it is also that audience that kept it going on VHS and cable, and would invite friends over, and we'd have that, you know, you'd have a movie night and you'd watch it and all that, and it just helped build its reputation over time. Yeah. So that's my thought on that, Kill Switch. Yeah. Huge. So. Yeah, there's very, very, very little relationship between Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and Blade Runner from a story standpoint. But they are, you know, it is an interesting example of how to do an adaptation, completely abandon the source material, or maybe not completely, but by large part, but still come up with something on a storytelling standpoint that is very much its own and very much has its own value. And so yeah, it's pretty admirable on that score. So anyway, this is first session done. So I'm going to, we're going to hit the intermission, doolally, and you know, you guys know the drill. I will see you back here in about 5, okay? Hey everyone, be right with you. Hey everyone. Okay, so I am back. Yeah. So anyway, yes, it was lovely to see the boy, but and I think that he was whimpering and kind of yapping a lot in the house since it seemed like he wanted to see me. So Holly brought him out, which was really really sweet. But the thing is, when he gets out here, sometimes he's super excitable, and I didn't want him, like being so excited he was bumping into the, don't want him to hurt himself, like I said, bump into the candles, the lights, anything like that. So we're going to get done with the stream in another 45-50 minutes or so, and then I will take him on his nightly walk through town, and all will be well, because, yeah. But I know that, glad you guys got to see him, because he is a great boy. He's a wonderful boy. So, but anyway, I had promised at the beginning that we're gonna have our let's see, hang on. We're gonna have our little mailbag. Sorry. So sorry. So here we are. All right, so we have one package here, and this actually came in today, and this is from HarperCollins. So we will see what this is. So quick mailbag, because I hear a train in the distance. So I feel like it's almost time for... So what I have here, this is... Oh, okay. Oh, nice. All right, so this it would be the finished copy in hardcover of a book that I've already received as an ARC. It's called Who Knows You by Heart. This is... yeah, it says part social thriller, part modern love story, but it's mostly a sly, witty, and endlessly discussable tale of big tech, new money, relationships, race, and discovering what's real in an age of artificial intelligence. So this is one of these, you know, like next Tuesday in the future tales about the impact of technology on our lives and what's going to change. So let's have a quick look at the actual sell sheet here to get a bit more information. Yeah, I'd received this about a month or so ago as an ARC. So it looks like they've sent me the finished copy. Very nice of them. Yeah, so it just says, yeah, so it's about a coder living in Manhattan. She's broke, burned out, and haunted by her parents' deaths. Desperate to pay off some debts, she ditches her nonprofit job for a high-paying gig. That's always, you know, a hazard. Sells her soul, as it were, at Ustation Inc., a big tech company that specializes in audio entertainment, language communication, human connection. These are the markets Ustation wants to revolutionize and dominate. Octavia finds herself swept up in the world of the tech titans, with its lure of instant riches and its seemingly limitless future. But as one of Ustation's very few black employees, Octavia is uncomfortably aware of things that seem to escape her co-workers. Unexplained tech glitches, cryptic remarks, a mysterious secret floor in the corporation's gleaming headquarters. So there's the 13th floor, basically. But she sets her suspicions aside when she's recruited by another black coder, the infuriating but attractive Walcott. Gotta get the romance in there, but that's fine. To collaborate on a secret project codenamed Zion. That's a big red flag. Here we go. Yeah, let's see. You can just F right off, motherfucker. Let's see. Boom. Hide user on this channel. Boink. And you're gone, douchebag. There we go. See? Yep. Don't know who that is, but, you know, he's plugged. It's exactly that easy to do. So it says, let's see. Okay, so anyway, there's all this suspicious stuff going on behind the scenes at this company, and so, yeah, so kind of it's that kind of thriller, right? And it comes out on the 11th, so next Tuesday, as it were, and the author is C.J. Farley, born in Jamaica. All right, so, as I said, already received as an ARC, but this is the finished hardcover from William Morrow, next Tuesday on the 11th. So there we go. And thank you, Harper, for sending this along. So on we go. And that is that. So yeah. So there we are. Okay, so onward. So I've got this book right here, which I'm intrigued to start off, like I told you, because it is an Asian fantasy about gangsters and magic in early 1970s Singapore. And that immediately interested me because I lived as a little boy. You know, little Thomas lived in Singapore with his family in the early 1970s. So maybe I'll recognize some landmarks. I don't remember any magic-wielding gangsters, but there you are. I was too young to get out to the, you know, seedy parts of town, I suppose. So anyway, so we're gonna try starting this one off, but I am gonna finish very quickly the one chapter that I had left to go in Heaven Belt, and then I'll move on to that. So and it won't take me long. I've only got a few pages left in this one, so be good, and off we go. Oh, train facts. Yeah, no, it's just my streams don't usually get guys like that, so I don't know what their deal is, but they are easy to demolish. Yeah, I mean the resilience of the citizens during those wars, and just being down in the shelters and in the tube stations, and just sort of adapting. You know, you can read so many stories about that, and just amazing to learn about. So. Okay. Okay, well, whoops. Oops. There goes the phone. Oh, that's all right. Like I said, the root interruptions are easy to get rid of. So, anyway, gonna finish these pages real quick. Yeah, this one has a good clear whistle. No. They do. They all have a character to them, it seems. They all have a different way of greeting the town as they pass through. Ugh. Oh, hey, RFM. Yeah, I read that one some years ago and liked it quite a bit. Tie my shoelace. I'm one of these people where even if I'm not moving around, if I have an untied shoelace, it just bugs me. So I'm going to lean out of frame in a very untelegenic way and solve that little problem. And now I'm back. Oh, that's awesome to hear, RFM. I appreciate that. It's very nice to hear. Oh, look, they're both untied. No, this one I can do this way. So we got a few more minutes to go. I think I'll be able to finish this chapter. Okay, everyone. Well, I feel like that's, in fact, we went a little bit longer than usual, but I feel like that is going to be the stream for the evening. And just a nice one. I enjoyed being with you guys. It's a quiet night, good night, but a few good trains, and visit from my doggo, who gets to have his walk now, and that's going to be very nice. So, yeah, anyway, it's good to see all of you, as always. And so, yeah. And this looks like this is getting off to an interesting start, so I'm going to really try to absorb a little more of it over the weekend, and, we'll let you know. So, George, good to see you again. I hope you get to feeling better, sir. And so otherwise, yes, everybody please take care. And as I always say, please stay safe and healthy. And happy reading, absolutely. Thank you for joining me as always. Love you guys. And we'll see you with the next one, right? Next week, same time, etc., etc. So...